Oh, hello. You like my shirt? It is 9 in the morning. It is Friday. Unfortunately, it's not Monday because everybody loves Mondays, right? But we like Fridays too. I'm kidding around about the unfortunate thing because, you know, the views expressed on Hake do not represent Hake. Nor do they represent Bond or JLP or the American Anchor Baby or Derrick, the producer. Definitely not Derrick. Can I turn on? I can't turn on goals anymore, at least today. And it looks like it's no matter what browser, no matter what channel, JLP or Hake, we cannot turn on the goals. So you can give your super chats, but I will not give any goals. But anyway, yeah, so take everything that you hear, think, see, interpret, read, especially here on this show, but also in your own life. It's just good for you. With a grain of salt, neither believe it nor disbelieve it. All right? I love that phrase, a grain of salt. I learned that from my male world history and geography teacher, a white man. He had what he called orange hair. So I don't know, maybe he was Irish or something. But yeah, shout out. So I dox his last name. Sort of a common last name. So I guess I could say it. Mr. Welch. Doxed. For almost 25 years ago. Nice. Sophomore year. Yeah. But anyway, no, it's just a number of super chats for Give Yo Mama over there on the Rumble crew. Yeah, so we're going to have a fun, loosey-goosey, the Hake Report. I have things to cover, perhaps, right? I actually like to get... There's some people who prefer I don't get to calls and just prefer I talk. And that's interesting. That's nice. I appreciate that feedback. So, I was confused for a second. You can call, you can super chat, 888-775-3773, thehakereport.com for the different ways to super chat, all right? Thehakereport.com. There's a little, let me show it to you. If I went over here and showed you thehakereport.com, you can click on this thing, jigger. I'm not showing myself, this is risky. You can click here and see what the most recent coffees are. Hopefully it's not something bad. Nicky bought a few coffees. Thank you, Nicky. And it's not showing because you are not logged in. But I know what it says, and I might show it. But it was something for Derrick. There is Cesar. So it's kind of cool, huh? It's over on buymeacoffee.com, but it's called a widget, I think. And then it has this little coffee-looking thing. Cool, huh? So that's... even when I'm not live or if I don't have a live video scheduled, you can go over there. Same thing with the American Anchor Baby. If you go to buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby or JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Pretty cool, huh? Nice. Hey. So, we're going to get going here shortly, everybody, because I want to get to your calls. I'm laughing because I saw the topic of one of my first callers for the day. Why boomers stink. So there's a little sneak peek at what we will cover. Yesterday, I gave a sneak peek at what I would like to cover. So we'll see what happens, all right? I would like also to get things going, though. All right? Oh, boy, nice and loud. Pardon the racket. And so, anyway, everybody, let's, 5 minutes later, just get right on, almost, with the... the AJ Gallardo original theme song. I'm in I don't know what mode I'm in. I almost played you the lame-o, boom, bombastic, boom, high-produced version, but no, it's the original theme song day of the Hake Report.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey! You guys! Such a good song. I know I like it. AJ Gallardo, the Hake Report. Look it up.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, la la la. How y'all doing? You like the bird chirping? I hear some birds chirping over here in Manhattan Beach right now. Very nice. Sweet. But I want to get right into the show here, because I don't like coming to the end of the show and having to be all rushed. So let's dive in and talk with some people, specifically Michael in Canada on the line here. What's up, Michael?
Tant qu'il me restera quelque chose dans le frigidaire, je fermerai ma gueule, je prendrai le métro, puis je laisserai faire. Mais il y a quelque chose qui me dit qu'un beau matin, ma Rosalie, on mettra du beurre sur notre pain. Woo!
You sound,
Hey, hey!
you have the voice of Jeff Buckley. It is so
Who's
nice,
that?
man. He's a
Who's
dead
that?
guy. He's a dead guy who sang a French song. And he also sang Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Jeff Buckley, I think.
Yeah, no, for real, I'm a great singer.
Yeah, I can tell.
Not gonna
That sounded
lie.
so nice. And I like the sound of other languages, actually. Even though it's destroying our country, I love it still. French is not destroying America. So shout out to the French.
Man.
Yeah,
Your greatest highlight, man.
that's true.
Believe that. You
Yeah.
don't want our
The French Canadian,
poison
that is.
socialist mentality, of course, but when people are gonna get used to it, it'll be nice. So when
Yeah.
you'll take over, that's what I mean.
Right.
And especially talking about that, Jaime, why don't you come over here? No problem. I'll give you a warm welcome and an all-dressed knuckle sandwich with that. Did you ever get beat by the 135-pound, 5'5" guy? You think I'm scared of you? Are you crazy in your head, man?
Wow. So you're built just like Bruce Lee then.
What you mean?
You're 135 pounds, 5'5"?
Yep.
I think that's Bruce Lee's build. Well, when he was alive and still somewhat strong. Bruce Lee, height, weight. Let's find out. 5'8", 141. Okay, so he had a little bit on you. So you
Yeah.
you literally doxed your height and weight, or are you kidding? Or are you calling him 5'7", 135?
No, I'm 5'5", and I'm
Oh, 5'5".
135 pounds.
Okay. Nice.
But I can do a lot of push-up, man, and I know how to fight. I'm from the street.
That's right. Didn't you beat
Yeah.
up your dad?
Yeah.
He's all set. You to this day, you're
That was
still
long
ashamed
ago,
of it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we were a lot on him. So I was
Yeah.
like 14 years old, 13 years old. So imagine like 13 years old arresting you and attacking you for literally maybe no reason.
Yeah.
Get it spin on. And, wow.
Yeah.
That wasn't my great move, but, you know, I was young.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of young. And that's what I want to talk about because, you know, I said during the Punchy TV episode that William was a boomer.
A boomer.
William the Third. And you said, why is that? And I didn't have time to explain myself because the episode was coming to an end.
Yeah, we had to rush.
But here's what, they always, the boomer is not only an age, but it's a mentality.
That's right. That's why I call myself a boomer, because William is not the age of a boomer, I don't think. I think he's Gen X. But he has the mindset of a boomer.
Somebody said in the chat he was 64, from 64.
Oh, well,
so maybe,
I don't know. I don't want to dox just because you dox your biometrics. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not only, it's a mentality, and there's a lot of kind of boomer. We got our own over here in Quebec, and you got your own over there in the United States.
Japan has their boomers too.
Yeah.
Who believe their liberal media.
They have all one thing in common. They got all one thing in common. They always say that the next generation are lazy bums. Am I right? Am I wrong?
You are right about that one.
And I got some for you.
And are they wrong?
William. Huh?
Are they wrong that we're lazy bums?
Oh, yes, they're wrong. And I got just one example, one of the few examples that we can take. First of all, I'm a Gen Z. I think I'm born in 96.
Okay.
I work 7 days a week. I told you that. I make a lot of money. I'm doing great for myself.
Cool.
Maybe I'm going to prison next year, but that's another topic. But I'll be okay, if you want to know, money-wise. And,
cool.
The boomer. So let's just say, I don't know if he's from 64, but let's just say he's from 1964.
Oh, born in 64, okay.
Yeah. In 1985, the average home, you know what cost it? What was the cost?
Very little. I would guess 60,000, 50,000?
Nah. 40? A little bit more than that.
75,000, 80,000?
Yeah, $72,000.
Okay.
And the income, the average, we're talking average, not the lowest, not the highest. $23,000 was the income in 1985. When William, if he's born in 1964, he'll be 21 years old at that time.
Yeah.
Today, in 2025, the average cost of a home in the United States, $4,040, $100,000. $500,000.
10 years before that, I think 10 to 15 years before the 85 mark, I think people were buying homes for $20,000, $25,000. And those homes are now worth like a million or so, or close to it, plus or minus,
Sir.
Yeah.
All right. So keep going.
So-called worth that. I think it's just that the money is becoming cheaper and cheaper, meaning the value of the money is weak.
That.
Yeah.
Nearly $500,000. So that's a 500% increase in the home cost. But with the income, we only have 270%. So that's it. And if we adjust that to the inflation, this figure equates to $219,000. That's the income a person in 1985 will do in 2025. Meaning the home price have risen from 500% to 102%, 102%, while the income only 23%.
Right. The income has not kept up with inflation. That's true.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So for a person
and
like
why
William,
is that? Why is that? Who's to blame?
There's a lot of social services. Spending money on things that don't make
government spending is
inflation. When you start a business, you create money and you can give it to your employees so they have their living and so on and so on and so on. So if you give your money to everybody else and they mama and they only bought Pepsi and frozen pizza, that's lower. the money. Or I don't know about the U.S. dollar because it's nearly international, but right here in Canada, with these Africans, they come in here and they take our money and they put it in Africa, and that making lower our money. If you know what I mean, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, not only the homes, but if you take the insurance, the cars, and all of that, they all cost way higher than it was in 1985. So if in 1985 you were able to buy and to completely buy your house within 5 or 7 years, it was easy. Nowadays we got 20, 35 years mortgage, which is crazy, man. I mean,
yeah.
What's the point? Paying 35 years later, you're like 60, and now you get your money back. You know, you don't even know if in 35 years from now the money will worth what it is today. So maybe you'll lost money.
You
But these
know,
people,
you know, the great thing about the more Christian version of capitalism, as opposed to this more communist version of capitalism, this mama spirit capitalism of communism that we have now, where, you know, all that social spending and all the different ways that they've jacked up prices and the economy. It used to be that you didn't have to be excellent to be pretty well off, but now you have to be more excellent. But there's no reason that you or me or any other person who even may be struggling financially, quote unquote struggling, whatever that means, can't be excellent and make it in the world and even buy a home and even be rich. You know, there's always a way. It's just that we're blind to it. But the way that they've set up society is that if you're imperfect in those physical ways, then you may fall into dependency on the government or whatever, and that's what they want as evil.
yeah, not only that, but
So is that why you're a nationalist socialist?
yeah, because you know, I don't think socialism is a good way for society to thrive.
Oh, so are you? Did I read you wrong? I felt like before you told me.
You didn't.
You are.
Because I believe a little bit in socialism in the way that you get to be very little and you get to be with your own kind, with one goal, not
so that's more a little bit more nationalist. Your own nation, your own people.
Right here in Quebec, we did just that in the 1960s. But, you know, socialism is, like I said before to you, socialism is a great thing until people get too much money. You know what I mean? So
I don't know
easy.
what you mean.
But socialism, if it's just like the roads, some social services, like, you know, if you don't have legs, we don't let you die, you know.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can have it, you know.
Oh, okay, so too much money meaning spoiling them.
Not only the people who are getting the money, but the people the people who distribute the money.
Yeah.
So if you're like the bank, so what the government is here with the taxes in Quebec, you're the bank. You decide where the money goes. So when you do that, and you know that's not
You're calling
your money,
the government the bank, meaning the government is the bank that distributes this money.
In Quebec, it's literally you can say that because they take a lot of taxes from your pay, and there's a lot of money in this system, a lot.
Yeah,
we're talking about billions of dollars for the healthcare, which is totally collapsing right now.
Yeah,
we're talking about, you know, all this money. They create jobs for people to go on their computer, to work on their computer, and they're paying them like $250,000 a year, while someone like me, who's giving them their pay because I work and I pay taxes,
right.
I can't even do that working with my hands.
Yeah.
So you understand. So
doing actual
that's your
work. That's
friends right there. You need a job. Go, come on, work for the government. Don't take the taxpayer money,
yeah.
taxpayer money, and we'll give it to you.
You're
So
doing
imagine you're
actual
the
work.
Prime
That's
Minister
huh?
of Quebec. Imagine you're the Prime Minister of Quebec, and you got all this money, and you want to, like they say, invest in our future. So you take this money and you invest it in green industries like battery, like electricity, and but right now these fields are failing. No one want to build batteries because it's not paying. No one buying electric cars.
Wow.
So what's happening there? We have lost that billions of money in that with taxpayer money. Don't forget that. It's not the money of the Prime Minister, it's mine. And he decides where he takes that money. But what does, where I'm sure, why can't, I don't know how to say that, sorry. How can I be sure that this man didn't put his own money in these companies before taking mine to put in theirs? You know what I mean? So his share go up, and when it's time to sell, he sells.
Oh.
After that, he's not anymore Prime Minister. We never see him again. Guess why? Just like Justin Trudeau, this man didn't have a penny before he became Prime Minister. He had some money, I know, because his father was Prime Minister before him. But after being Prime Minister, this man worth millions of dollars now, and you. At least he's dating Katy Perry. You won't see him anymore anywhere.
Justin Trudeau
I mean?
dating the former Christian singer, or is she still Christian? Katy Perry. What a mess.
I don't think so, man. She a lot in the LGBTQ movement, and
yeah, not the good kind of Christian. Tell you that much.
Yeah. So here's the problem with socialism. If it's become too big, if you take the government like God, it's going to be becoming a problem because there's always rats everywhere. They're going to take their share.
Yeah.
And let rot everybody else.
True.
We're becoming like slaves in Canada.
Yeah.
That's why I love Trump. You know that I love Trump. It's not against him, but he very lost me with this visa thing because it's exactly what happened here. We got a chance in Quebec that we are affected, but not that much at other provinces. Right now in 2015 in Quebec, we were like 82% white. In 2025, we are 74%. There are some provinces, they are 52%. Just in a lapse of 10 years. So in 2035, we are becoming a minority. It's crazy, man. So
that is crazy.
Exactly what, in the same way they did it here, they're going to do it in the United States. You know what they told us to us? We need jobs. We need workers. We need some people to do the job that you don't want to do. It's not that we don't want to do it. It's because you gave money to everybody and their mama for not working, to stay at home. You know what that makes? People don't want to work anymore. Because if I work, I can't even go because I don't get assurance at my job. So if I go see the dentist, it's going to cost me thousands of dollars. If my neighbors who didn't work nearly in 20 years, giving his welfare check, going to the dentist is going to be paid by the taxpayer money. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I follow you.
So that means that me working every day, and I work hard. At the factory where I work hard. Maybe not so much at the grocery store, but I can tell you where I work hard.
Yeah.
And I got my money got stolen by the government because here you go, Ronnie, you got it, government. Government, and it's a big mess right now. But yeah, so no, I'm not that much of a socialist. I think that the United States system is way better, but right now it's coming way too much like Canada, and I'm fearful of that, to be honest. Because yes, when you said, yesterday you said that you thought it was okay that we said our country.
Right.
Because Canadian, and it will always been like that. We are like cousins.
Yeah.
We are like friends. There's
Yeah.
no other country that's experienced it like we experience. We always help each other. We always there for one another. Yeah, I know we did a lot of mistakes. I know we elect some weak people. And
Right.
now we got to pay for what we did. I know we didn't take much money, what we had to do to secure our border and our army. I know. But wait, maybe one day people will have enough of that. When the Canadian dollar will be 50 cents, maybe people will becoming a little bit more radical. You said you'll vote for me, Hake? You know why I can't be president? Because I'm too radical. The first thing that people need to do is stop to let women vote.
Yeah.
At this moment, that everything's changed. Is at this moment you were talking about the rate of babies, rate babies on Jesse's show. How do you do that? How do you say that?
Yeah, the birth rate.
It started collapsing when?
After the 60s, something like that, with the free sex stuff.
And when does the woman have the right to vote in the United States? 1965.
Wow.
So figure it out, brother.
Indeed.
And
No.
that's your
The women's
fault,
right to
boomer.
vote was before that, man. Wait, you caught
No,
me.
it's 1965.
Nuh-uh, 1919, something like that.
No. That was for some places in the United States. The right for women all over the United States to vote. I'm pretty sure it's 1965.
No, man, for sure. They got to vote long before that because they voted for the commies. But your point still stands. It was because of these women.
Are you able to check that right real quick?
Yeah, let me show this, and I will pull this rate over here. The average number of children born to a woman in select country regions. Here, let me push myself up to the top so I get out of the way. Oops. Lord have mercy. I'm a boomer. Okay, so the average number of children was about 7 children in the 60s over for Mexico.
No, not that, but the year that women were able to vote. Because I read that in 1920s, yes, they let some women vote. Not all. Some. In some places. Not
Oh, no,
everywhere.
you're thinking about blacks. You're talking about the Voting Rights Act. Probably.
Oh, is it that? Oh, maybe I read it wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
No, yeah. Because the blacks were pretending like they didn't have the right to vote, but they totally did. It's ridiculous. What a mess.
Okay,
or
okay,
it's not a right,
bad,
but
man,
they were totally allowed to vote. They just had these things like poll taxes and literacy tests, because some people can't read, but they can vote. So.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
My bad, man.
No,
I'm
you're
French.
fine. Hey, I'm ignorant too. We're what some might think of as embarrassingly ignorant, but it's irrelevant. Who cares? We still got a
Yeah,
good
but
mind on our shoulders.
And that's the boomer fault.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
It's all their fault. They let this country rock, man.
Yeah.
Don't make mistakes.
I mean,
they
who
let the
made
women be the way they are today, man. It's
made
hard to communicate with a woman nowadays.
But the boomers were young people in the 60s. They were just dumb college kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody brainwashed them. You can blame the Jews if you want, but
always there, man.
but who set up the whites to fall for the Jewish propaganda? And then who's brainwashing the Jews? Satan. Everybody's being brainwashed by Satan and one another. And shame on the weak people who fall for the brainwashing, So.
Yeah, but when you don't fall for it, you're called you're called a lazy man.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. Blah blah blah. Hey, you stole the country from us.
Right.
Never forget that. And I dare you, William, not to tell me that that's not true.
Yeah.
Look the way we are today. can't even speak to a woman without being called harassment or whatever you want. It's hard to have baby nowadays because if she don't aborsh the baby,
Yeah.
she's gonna make you pay for these babies, and in a really hard way.
Right.
That's got to stop, man. You need to let these women not vote anymore.
Right.
Even democracy, I don't believe in democracy.
Me neither.
It's the worst thing ever, man.
It really
don't
is.
follow the crowd.
Yeah.
The only people who should be able to vote are the people who get businesses and the people who both land.
Nice. Yeah.
That's the way I am. And bring back chain gang,
Yes.
please.
Yeah. We got to bring back some manly, logical, sensible thinking. Not this, oh, it is this way, might as well keep it this way. That's insane. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So just, William, please stop thinking that we are lazy. Just look at the facts, man.
All right.
Things are not what they were anymore. Now it's harder, and we got to work harder.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. Have a nice day, Hake.
You as well, sir. Take care. Jaime in Minnesota on the line over here. What's up, Jaime? How you doing, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. How about you?
All right, cool. Hey, I love it when Michael calls.
Me
that
too.
Guy, he's an entertaining guy.
He is.
A lot like the blacks.
Yes.
He's laying down some facts, standing on business,
That is a fact.
showing his work. I like that. That's very good.
Cool.
I wanted to get on this house conversation, 1985 comparing to today.
Okay.
Regulations is a huge portion of why things cost so much to build today. Trump's a big regulation cutter guy. He already knows to build.
Right.
He's said it in many speeches and many conferences. He says regulations is what's costing us so much.
And he knows building.
Yeah, he knows what's inside.
Yeah.
Not just
He knows real
up,
estate
but
and he knows building.
what wheels to grease.
Right.
You gotta grease wheels.
He knows what.
And whether
I bet you he knows what regulations are reasonable and which ones are unreasonable.
That's right.
Yeah, because he's
And,
an expert.
I was checking up on this, and in America, 25% of the cost of your house is regulation. In
And what do you
Canada,
mean by that? If you can explain briefly.
getting zoning permits,
Oh,
things like that.
yeah. All these
Over there-
shenanigans. Okay, go ahead.
Also, environmental stuff,
Yeah.
housing efficiency. Back in 1985, you could have your heater running and still be cold in there because the wind blew right through it.
Through the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, you're so insulated, ain't nothing. You could have 100-mile-an-hour winds, just being facetious,
Right.
but you're keeping that heat inside.
Yep.
Now, that's good and all, but it shouldn't have to be regulated.
Right.
A guy should be able to choose to have poor heating ability to get that price down.
I'm
to build his house.
100% with you.
But that's not the case, okay?
Yeah.
Because contractors got to follow the rules. Otherwise, their house ain't getting built.
Yep.
So, anyways, in Canada, it's 35% of your house. In some areas, the dense populated areas,
Mhm.
it can get over to 100% of your house. So your house has doubled the cost just because of regulations.
Wow.
That's in Canada.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for America. It's not quite that high, but it's high.
Yeah.
So say you want, in 1985, you got a house that's built, all right? It's going to cost you $40,000, okay? Materials and labor and everything, all right?
Yeah.
If you built that same house, no regard to regulations, no regard to anything, you built the exact same house today, it'll cost you $96,000.
That's insane, man.
And that's from labor costs. The wages would have to increase to compare it to today's wages. Right? So that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
You know?
What about stuff that's
And-
already built, though? Because stuff that's already
Uh,
built is insanely expensive as well.
Well, that depends, because if you had a 1985 house, it's not up to code, and you don't have to. There's nothing legally restricting you from selling that house as is.
Right.
Okay. Now, say I find a unicorn out there, 1985 house, and it's all old wiring, all old pipes, all old roof, all old windows.
Huh.
I'm not going to pay $200,000 for that. All right. You'd have to be a fool.
I mean,
Now, if
$200,000 would be a steal out here in SoCal where I am.
Not for a rat shack.
Maybe. 1985
you know,
is not that old, man. It's like, it doesn't feel that old. My
Right.
house was plenty warm. It's not like it's from the 40s. Sorry, go ahead. I'm derailing your point.
So the banks aren't going to let you get a loan, aren't going to give you a loan for something that's not updated. And those are for like the federal loans, the veteran loans and things like that. It needs to be more up to date.
What about first-time
bank?
home buyer?
Yeah, that's a federal.
Oh, yeah, it is a federal loan, totally.
So a bank, if you just go straight to a bank, as long as wires aren't sticking out of the walls and stuff, and that the roof isn't leaking and things like that, they might give you a loan on something like that. So the older houses, they suck compared to houses today.
Because of the building quality.
The building quality.
Yeah.
That's right. But if you built a house today the exact same way with the exact same, HVAC equipment, the same wiring, it would only be $96,000. That's a great deal. Inflation. But $400,000, I got a house, $300K, is beautiful, is big, it's spacious, is beautiful. Nothing needs to be done to it. That's a great deal in today's market.
Right on.
It's expensive, but it's regulation. That same house that I'm in would probably be $150,000 back in 1985.
You think so? You think it would be $150,000 in 85?
Well, I don't know, 100. Call it 100.
100 when it's only how much? 300,000?
Yeah.
No
like
way,
20,
man. No way.
Well,
In
it's 20
85, a house of your quality, right? Your same quality.
Well, the 40,000
I get that they don't have that technology or building standards back then, but a house that's only 300,000 back then would probably be $15,000 or $35,000 or $50,000.
No. The $40,000 number I gave you, is for a 1,700 square foot house. This one's 2,400 square feet. It's got 700 more square feet.
This is going over my head. I can't comprehend square footage.
Well, the number I gave you for a $40,000 house is a shack, basically.
No, a $40,000 house would not be a shack in 85. $40,000 is okay, depending on where you are. But anyway, I don't want to get lost on the specific pricing.
The houses
It's irrelevant.
are heavily regulated today.
Okay.
And Trump is the regulator cutter.
And so that'll affect the housing prices, you're saying. Interesting.
Yeah, by a lot. That'll make houses much more affordable.
Yeah, and the deportations, like I've been pointing out from some Fisher King guy on X, said the deportations, he said back in May on X, that the mass deportations would bring down the housing prices. And that's another reason why, these huge companies like BlackRock that hold these houses, they're raking in the dough, or they love the fact that the housing is exorbitant housing prices. And so there's a lot of commie capitalist corporation push against mass deportations for reasons beyond just the cheap labor and votes, Democrat votes, So
absolutely true. And Trump's the only one that's doing something about it.
Making
And
America
that guy,
great again.
our future president,
Yeah.
I was listening to him the other day.
Yes.
And he's got a lot of... he doesn't give details. In his conclusions that he comes to, he jumps to them. He jumps to conclusions about everything. The guy's got a sacred cow and a bunch of blind spots.
Okay. Well, he's young, you know. Some of the things that he asserts, he doesn't necessarily mean as fact. For example, about the Holocaust. I've heard him say,
I'm not talking about that stuff.
Hey, mom and dad. No, I know that. But just as an example, right? He's said, hey, mom and dad, it didn't happen. And H-man was awesome. And they're like, we didn't raise you this way. But then when you pin him down on it, he's like, now I don't know what really happened. So he may be making assertions, kind of like my other competitor, Alex Jones, may sometimes make assertions, but when he checks back, he's like, now I don't know for sure. So take everything that he says with a grain of salt. He may not actually believe 100% as strongly as he's saying it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the Trump bashing.
Oh, yeah. I don't even
Trump.
really believe that he's really believes. I don't really believe that he's anti-Trump, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I
Yeah.
think he's really good at grifting. He knows what the people want to hear.
Which is a good thing to be able to do, honestly.
It's good for him, and I applaud him on it. And honestly, no hate.
Yeah,
no hate.
Me either. There's another guy whom I always reference who's big on X. He's been on the JLP show, The Fallen State. I won't mention his name right now, but he will frequently criticize Trump very strongly. And some of the stuff may be fair. Some of the stuff I don't think is fair. And some of the stuff I have no idea. But I like that they do that because it's their job to criticize. And they have an influence because they are so influential to the young people. They have an influence on the people in the White House who pay attention to what they say. And that adds a little bit of pressure to counteract all these, tech bros and others who are influencing Trump, So I like that they have that. I like that they have those criticisms and that they influence. I really don't even mind the people who are criticizing Trump over, for example, the visa thing. I don't care about the visa thing because I don't know what that actually means, how it would be different from what we've already been doing and stuff like that. And the student visas, the H-1Bs. I don't see how it's necessarily that big of a deal, but those guys do. Now, I don't believe in turning on Trump over it. Some people are getting way too emotional, I think. But I like that they're having the disagreement. Shout out. Nice.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Absolom, King David's son.
Okay.
Supplanted David for a while.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of things. He got his hair cut running away on a mule. He got his hair cut in branches.
Yeah,
and Joab, David's commander, pierced him with a spear 3 times.
But didn't kill him. Did he kill him or did he?
Yeah, he killed him.
Oh,
yeah, he
that
killed him.
Whoa.
But Absolom would sit at the gate and tell everybody, if I were king, I'd rule on your side. You're the one who's right.
Wow, so he pretended to be a man of the people. Absolom did.
Yeah.
And so
that's
David's
what I think our future presidents do.
So David's right-hand man killed David's son?
Yep.
Because David's son had kind of betrayed his father.
He did a lot of things, a lot of bad things.
What a mess.
But cool talking to you. Hey, shout out to Michael. Man, he's bringing facts. That gives me something to think about,
That's cool, man. All right. Take care, Jaime.
Bye.
Bye. Art in Ohio is on the line over here. Art, thank you for calling, sir, and holding. What's up?
Hake, drop a load on him.
What's that mean?
Man, you don't even know who that is, man. That's look, bro, you gonna laugh at this too. It's Naughty by Nature, the rapper. The song called O.P.P. Look at not now, but when you get home or something, think about what I said. it's a scene in there where the Tretch tell the dude, he tell him to play the piano. His name was Dave, and that's what I think of you when I said that. That's what I'm talking about. Hake drop a load on. Nah, and it's so crazy.
That is funny.
Nah, because that's really how me and you are. Like you my wingman. I'm your wingman for sure. That's like when I seen, I'm like, man, that remind me of Hake.
Nice, right on,
for
man.
Sure. Already. Yes,
have to check
sir.
that out.
Yep, and you already know Tretch. We running with Naughty by Nature. Tretch, man. He you know, man, you can't. It's hard to find the real ones out here. You know what I mean? So when you do get the real ones, man, you gotta embrace them and hold them, man, because you know what I mean. Once they gone, and you just don't replace the real ones like that.
Right.
So I look at Tretch like a real one, like you know what I mean. My example is Tupac. You have a lot of people that be trying to talk down about Tupac.
Wow.
And they was rolling with him back in the day, but now that he's gone 20-some years later, people let other people down talk him. And Tretch is one of the ones that won't let you do that, and I respect that because that's how I am. Like if I'm with you and you ain't here on this earth no more, and I know somebody's down talking you or something like that, or spitting on your name, or I'm gonna line them up, meaning I'm gonna put them in line like.
Okay.
You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? And that's when I say, well, that's why I really like Tretch. Not only do I like him for that, I like him for his music. Long story short, going back to what I called you for, Trump. So the news anchor from Fox, she was lining him up the other day. She was asking about the H1N1 visas things. Trump, I don't appreciate you saying when she said, so we don't got the talent in America. And you come back and you say, no, we don't have the talent in America. I feel like you spitting on us Americans or whatnot when you say that. So, you know, respectfully, Trump, this tone it down, because you got people like me that I take offense to that. You feel me? Just like I take offense to when foreigners and other people, and even the Native Americans that just came here, that claim to be Americans, when they call and say that Americans is lazy, whether they white or black, is disrespectful. I can say in my own mom's house that, oh, she don't know how to season her food. But that's for me to say. That ain't for nobody else to say. If my friends is at my house and we playing Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo, we playing NBA Live 97, and you tell me or you scream out and say that, oh, your mom don't know how to cook, me, my brother, and any of the rest of the friends in the house, we going to be looking at you crazy. You don't say, you let me and my brother talk about my mom's cooking. You better not ever open your mouth and say anything about my mom's cooking, because we might be putting hands and feet on you, and you're going to be crawling out the front door type of stuff. And we're going to have to remove the Nintendo 64 controller up out of your hands as we whipping you up out the house. And that's where my problem comes in at is, yeah, I take offense to a lot of things that people be saying, you know what I mean? Put some respect on the American's name. That's what I'm saying. And this is all respect to Trump or whatnot. We do got the American talent in here in America, and we going to put them to work or whatnot, and we don't need nobody's third world help. So, yeah, that's my first problem I have with him. The second problem that I have with Trump was go ahead, let me hear what you think about that.
You know what? I didn't really necessarily overreact I didn't overreact at all when he said that we don't have talent and we need talent. Mm-hmm. Because I feel that I sense that that's kind of true. Mm-hmm. When immigrants come, there is truth to the point that there are some immigrants who come over here and they hustle. They see the opportunities that America offers, and they take advantage of those opportunities. Now, some of them are dishonest. I don't take that away. But that is what I wish that we had in America. But right now, so many of us are like spoiled, lazy, not taking advantages of the opportunities. And I'm not sure exactly why that is. I think it might be the spoiled thing, the fact that we're already taking care of some of us. So, and then the other thing is, you know, Bill, I don't know if you caught Punchy TV this week on Wednesday afternoon. Bill, the engineer, he made the point that our education is a mess. So we aren't really educating and bringing out the talent in the young people, so they grow up with unfound potential. They've squandered their potential because the teachers stink, the parents stink, and everybody's lame, you know? So
Okay, but see, all them is excuses. You see what I'm saying? This is going on.
The solution is not immigrants. The solution is cracking the whip on the Americans. I'm with you on that.
Thank you. I ain't even had. That's what I'm saying. This is our house.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know that we got some out of line kids, and that's what you said. We need to crack the whip here.
Yeah.
The solution ain't going there and trading, giving visas away to third world foreigners to come over to America to do basic jobs, not these high hanging fruit jobs, basic jobs. They making it seem like they coming out here doing extreme jobs when they only come to do the basic jobs. You see what I'm saying? So
you know what? Let me jump in because Kevin Howe in the chat, one of my chief mods, he says no, Hake, they get loans and special treatment. I've heard stuff like that. Like these people who come, I don't know if they're Indians or whoever, they come in here and they start a gas station or they start I don't know what. And they do get all these things and they pull these shenanigans and they take advantage of our welfare system. Totally. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And this is all respect to my main man, Trump, Uncle Trump or whatnot, because I ain't gonna lie, I was hot. I was in the crib talking kind of loud and stuff, man, or whatnot, to myself, punching the wall. But I don't know if Uncle Trump been drinking the Remy or whatnot.
Probably.
He might be drinking Remy because
no, he doesn't drink actually.
He I know he ain't smoking that pot. So
that's true.
Yeah, so 50-year mortgage, Uncle Trump, we don't need that, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh man, Uncle Trump, man, you gotta know I love you because I wanted to go in, and I'm just being respectful. 50 years mortgages, Uncle Trump, we can't do that. We don't got nothing to do with that. We don't want no 50-year mortgages or whatnot. What we want to do is bring these house prices down, bring the cost of living down, food down, prices of cars, taxes, we want to bring the cost of everything down. You see what I'm saying? And I think the first thing that we need to do is stop letting these liberals put these phony numbers up there saying 10 million came in, because we ain't buying it. And if you keep thinking that, we just going to get rid of 10 million illegals and Artie Art in Ohio is going to be happy with that, I'm not. We going to need to get them numbers way, way all the way up there. And I want the rest of that border finished or whatnot. We don't want half jobs. I'm from the 80s. I'm an 86 baby. Nice. I like my work done right, and I'd like it done right the first time, and I like it to be pristine. Cross the T's and dot the I's. I like everything to be weighed, even. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't want falling walls. You see what I'm saying? I just like he said, and this is and what I'm saying is, this is a reflection on us, Hake, but then this is a reflection on him too. If you can't do this, what this say about your hotels? This, if this ain't something, what I'm saying, if you don't do a full job on this lets me know that you do half jobs at your hotels. You see what I'm saying? It's common sense. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just like a serial killer, just don't wake up and one morning just wake up and be like, I'm just going to start killing people all crazy today. Yeah. Like it starts somewhere, and it starts from a kid all the way. And that's what I'm saying. Even with that. So yeah, kill the little 50-year mortgage talk or whatnot. That's over with, man. That's for lames. You talk sounding like Obama. And let's get them numbers up, because I'm getting off the phone after this, Hake, and I appreciate you for letting me speak. I hear them saying that MAGA this and MAGA that. No, Trump just came out with the saying. We found, when he came out with the saying, we found him. We already exist. Me and you already existed. He just had the voice. He just had the voice to say what he said, and we was like, yes. That's what we want to hear. Yes. So I hear these left and these people, they call us a MAGA. No, conservative Republicans are bigger than Trump. Trump was just the one that we seen, and we was like, yeah, he got the heart. He's saying what we all thinking or whatnot, and that's it with that or whatnot. But man, I want to, as an '86 baby or whatnot, I want to tell in a black that's been raised right. I do want to tell Trump. I want to say thank you to him for everything that he has done, and I want him to keep up the good work. And we still rolling with you. Just stay focused, and with everything that you said you was gonna do it, and quit letting these liberals throw little curveballs in there and get that 10 million immigrant number up, man. It's way past that. You better get up there in the 30s or whatnot. But, hey, drop a load on them, and I'll catch you later, man.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
Already. Yep.
Nice. If you're watching the video feed, I'm showing this article from, I forget where, TNR Politics. I can't read the website from here. I'm such a boomer over here. Oh, The New Republic. Okay. The New Republic. Is that a liberal outlet? And they're talking about the discussion that Trump had with Laura Ingraham at some point. Trump undermined the MAGA doctrine, so it appears, but I don't think it's actually the case. Even as Abigail Spanberger, the evil woman in which place is she governor? Oh yeah, she won governess of Virginia. How embarrassing. But they only had a black Republican female running against her, who was the lieutenant governess under that other nicey nice guy who is soon to be the former governor. Anyway, on how Democrats can win on the issue. Whatever. I feel like the New Republic is sort of a communist outlet, right? I don't remember. But MAGA influencers in a rage over Trump's appearance on Fox News. He told Laura Ingraham the country needs skilled foreign workers. Ingraham challenged Trump's support for visas for skilled workers, declaring that they flood the country with hundreds of thousands of foreign workers. And he said, I agree. So what's the problem? But he delivered the coup de grace. Coup de grace? I don't know. Tell me what that means. But you also do need to bring in talent. She's all Laura Ingraham, who shouldn't worry her pretty little head about politics, and she should have left her lips alone. We have talented people here, Trump said. No, you don't. We don't have talent. We need talent. MAGA heresy, or America First heresy. They call it a gaffe. And so you guys are, I think, over-interpreting it, because he knows we have talent here, but he said you can't have like homeless people work on building missiles. I thought I saw on Punchy TV and maybe Anchor Baby. I forget. Maybe not. Maybe not. They're calling it Trump's growing political. Whatever. That's just somebody's thoughts about it. Nice. So he's supposedly for the second time contradicted our sixth favorite Jew, or my sixth favorite Jew, Stephen Miller, on immigration. In June, Trump shocked MAGA, Make America Great Again, people, by admitting his mass deportations are depriving farmers of good, reliable workers, which obviously, of course, that's going to be a fact, because I've known some illegals, and one of them, and some of the Americans, or citizens, if you will, quote unquote, are not as good of workers, because there's always hit and miss anywhere you go. One of them was really good, actually. He had his worker visa, and then he overstayed it. He went back and came back, and he never fixed it. So he was illegal, according to him. He was our best worker. Anyway, in June, Trump shocked MAGA by admitting that his mass deportations depriving farmers of good, reliable workers. In both these cases, Trump broke superficially and blah, 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 temporarily at least, with the MAGA commitment to remove all illegals. They call them undocumented. Of course, they're documented, just fraudulently documented in some cases. And in other cases, they're documented as being illegal. So the correct word is illegal. And provisionally present, meaning they made they put a stay on deporting these illegals. It doesn't make them legal. Stupid. I mean, shout out. Don't say stupid, kids. At least not too much. whatever. So, this only proves that Trump is, like, reasonable, I think, in my opinion. Because it all just amounts to words. What you see in the policy is what's going to tell you. And even the policy, like, you're not seeing everything. So it's hard to know, at least for me, because I don't pay that much attention. And I doubt that most of you do either. So anyway, it's not a big deal. Just another thing that people all worked up about. It's not how he meant it. It's kind of like, it reminds me of people overreacting to our future president saying he was a fan of Stalin, And when it came down to it, he's not actually a fan of Stalin. He might be, but in a different sense from what you're thinking. This keeps on happening on my Buy Me a Coffee. Yep, sure enough, logged me out. But in the meantime, I would like to, well, let me just do this, because I don't like doing two things at once, Because that means I miss something. Okay, cool. Here we are. If we mosey on down over to the HakeReport.com, you can see that, or buymeacoffee.com/the Nicky bought 3. Hey, James, send this to Derrick if you can. If you don't mind a little story. Hopefully this is okay to show, Nicky. Oh, hang on. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. What you looking at? I actually texted it to you, too. But anyway, yeah, just so you're aware. Send this to Derrick if you can, if you don't mind a little story. There's once a little girl who wandered away from home. She knew nothing of Scripture. Her home had no Bibles, not even a whisper of God's name. She walked to a park, climbed onto a big rock. There she prayed with all her heart, soul, and might. God, do I walk forward with you? Do I return to where I came from? Her prayer didn't end there. She sat in silence, listening. In that silence, he eased the sorrow in her heart, lifted her fear, and peace settled on into her like a warm light. Without a word spoken, God's voiceless voice said, everything is okay. So the little girl got up from the rock and walked back home, not because the house had changed, but because God had met her heart where Scripture had not. That's all. Smiley. Which is to say, a colon, close parentheses. Nice. So that's you want to come in and say what you have to say to that? It's not on, but Derrick wants to know if that story came from your imagination, Nicky. She might be telling her own story, but that could have been her imagination. But maybe it was God, because kids, don't you think that kids are kind of closer to God than us corrupted adults ever corrupted? No? He means, he'll send a scripture, but you come out the womb speaking lies, says Derrick, Nicky. So maybe that was Satan comforting you, or the little girl. Yeah, the devil can disguise himself as the angel of light, says he. So there's Derrick. I disclaim. Thank you, Nicky. I personally think that you can, Nicky. Now I don't know if that was God or isn't God. The little girl may know, or the lady who was once that little girl may know. JLP has told that story of, he asked God, let it rain, and then it rained. So I think that, God, you must become as a child. What does that mean? But kids can get really corrupt, as I have said many a time, especially 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25-year-olds. Nice. Very nice, Nicky. And I did pass that along to him. I did. That's funny. All right, so coffee from Popcorn. Those are coffees. Nicky versus Derrick on kids and the Bible. Because there's some corrupt people on who are Bible bashers, if you will, or Bible thumpers, or Bible pushers. But JLP says Bible thumpers. Nice. Popcorn on buymeacoffee.com states, listening to a portion of your conversation with Zenny yesterday on the topic of the Great White Hope's comments on a lack of talent in America came up. You mentioned a conversation took place on Punchy TV in which you guys talked about education being in a steep decline in America. Everything dumbed down, grade inflation, all playing a role in the lack of talent. Here are my questions for you. Jesse said educated people are dummies, and you yourself have scoffed at educated people. Yeah. So wouldn't it be a good thing to you if education was on decline? No, because there's a right and wrong way to educate, to get educated. And the right way is what I'm talking about, is on decline. The wrong way is on the up. Everybody's talking about, you'll notice, Popcorn, blacks, you're a Christian. You know that blacks need Jesus, to use a Christianese word. But what do they think that they need? We got to get educated. We need education. So much so that your fellow Christian and my fellow Christian, my brother, I'll say it with an R, my brother, Ronnie, thinks that if these criminals, black or white or whatever, could only read, then they would not be turned into crime. But reading is a right kind of education, of course. You ought to be able to read. Be able to read, and be able to read at a high level. It's good. It's useful. But you're missing Jesus. Now you claim Jesus, but you're missing what he really was about and is about. You being the general you, most of us Christians. So no, that's not the right kind of, it's the wrong kind of education that's on decline. The 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Reading is with an R, writing is actually with a WR, and arithmetic is with an AR. But anyway, and especially with education should be with an AR. Like, an awesome gun. Because in Israel, where they're making Israeli babies, those teachers sometimes have an AR or an Uzi or whatever. Uzis are Israeli guns. 2, do you agree with the Great White Hope there's a lack of talented people in America, and specifically that we need to bring in the talented people from other countries? Let me put it this way. If it weren't true, Trump wouldn't say it. Trump said it. I believe it. That settles it. Like the Bible thumpers say, God said it, I believe it, that settles it. As much as you seem to be against people coming into the country via even legal immigration, I'm kind of shocked that you support bringing in foreign workers, even if temporary, to perform skilled jobs in America. I would have thought you'd be more of the mindset we need to improve the education system here so our kids, our citizens, can obtain the skills needed to perform those jobs. Well, sir, in the meantime, you got to bring in the people. Because we already have this system where they're coming in like crazy. So do you just cut it off like a spigot and just no more? I don't think that's necessarily the solution. You got to transition, to use a liberal word. You got to transition, Popcorn. And even when you've transitioned, for example, Trump is doing it the reasonable way. You say the extreme thing, and then you do the reasonable thing. You say the black and white thing, black and white for all. And then you do the reasonable thing where it's black here, but white here. Yes, yes, no, 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 yes. No, 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 yes. Rather than yes, 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 yes. Oh, and then a good person, South African refugee? No. Trump greatly reduced the number of refugees allowed into the country. For example, this is a side note. He didn't cut it off entirely. He greatly reduced it. So it's not a 100%. You gotta be reasonable. I don't know if this is, I don't know. And so I don't know. He might be listening to the tech bros, and I might be totally wrong with going along with Trump on this, okay? I don't know this to be true, but if Biden and Obama had made a comment about a lack of talent in this country for certain industries, wanted to bring foreigners to fill in the roles, I suspect you wouldn't be on board with it. No, I would not. Am I wrong about that? No, you are not. Because Obama and Biden have established themselves as untrustworthy, not for America. They're selfish. They're haters of white people. They think, as Biden said, by the way, Hunter Biden looks a lot like Joe Biden now. He looks like put together now. Shout out. I think he's evil, but he's looking good. But anyway, Biden said an unrelenting stream of immigrants coming into our country. Stuff like that. White European stock like me will be an absolute minority. And that's not a bad thing. It's a source of our strength. He didn't talk like that. He didn't halter. It's not a bad thing. It's a source of our strength. So he's an evil person. Trump is a good man, if there is any good man. Does it make a difference to you that the Great White Hope is the one proposing it? Absolutely. Or is it just the idea itself? You know, these people can say stuff. Communists will often say things, communists like Biden or Obama, because they basically are, right? They will say things that are reasonable. Communists like MLK, if he was a communist, right? They will steal a line from something that's reasonable. The devil. Louis Farrakhan, not calling Louis Farrakhan the devil, but the devil will say something that's kind of like there's a little bit of facts to it with the lie. Louis Farrakhan mix a little bit of truth with a big lie, and the biggest lie is the anger and the division and the evil. And so that's why, it's part of why I trust Trump, and I'm not overreacting to Trump on that. And so, nice. Right on. Hope that helps you there, popcorn. I almost said beautiful popcorn. Popcorn is cool, you know, it's beautiful. Not he or she or it, but I'm talking about the popcorn itself. If you look at it, I don't want to show a picture because I don't want my mouth to water too much. Although I was coughing just earlier. Cesar or Cesar. And then I'll get back to your calls, guys. I know. Cesar. Coffees. What's up, Hake? You gonna talk about Stevie Nicks today? Yeah, let me do that, okay? Did you watch Revolver? I have. If so, what did you think about it? And did you have to watch it multiple times? I think I've seen it once, maybe twice. I love how Anthony from South Cal, Southern California, called out the caller from yesterday, Mike. If we can get both of them on the line, that would be awesome. Yeah, Mike was interesting. He brought up the fact that the Chinese, they tend not to be as inventive in their culture, meaning they don't invent and come up with new things. Interesting. And he also said some cool things about utilitarianism, like that Trump is doing with bringing in these people and the big corporations and stuff against the little guy. It's interesting, and I would like to explore his concepts further to see whether it's what is communist and what is true. Have a safe weekend, everybody. Strong tan arm. Okay. Shout out and thumbs up. Sweet. Thank you, sir. And over here on the YouTube, Cesar gave something, and so did whatever happened to CloudBops? Oh, yeah. CloudBops says, wish there was a 24/7 JLP network. Crying emoji. Tears. Distraught. Sad. Wishful emoji. And of course, Cesar. Buenos dias, Hake. In a couple of months, my phone connection will be much better. And I'ma call you so much. Laughing with sweat. Nervous laughter. You're doing a great job, buddy. GBI. God bless Israel. I presume that suggests that is a thing. Israeli flag emoji. Pink hearts. Swirling up. Floating up to the Lord. Thank you, Cesar. I feel like she does that to irk you guys who are against Israel. Because I've never heard her talk about Israel before. But maybe she is. Maybe she's always done that and she's just, expressing her appreciation. Very cool, I guess. So let me show you guys quickly a little bit, a nice example of, is this white? Is this man? Is it manly? Or is it mama? Coyote. Nursing a coyote back to health. So this guy, no, let me turn off that soaking music. We don't deal with that soaking music. He's like picking him up by the scruff. And he got him out. What did he get him out of? It's in a trap. Oh, it's like a bear. Is that a bear trap? So he broke him out of the bear trap. And then he's putting him on a table. This is a coyote. A coyote. Oh, he has one of those things that holds his mouth closed. And he's like, you know, when your leg is messed up and the doctor like moves your leg or your arm around, regains the movement on your arm, the coyote's arm and leg. And look at his wild eyes, cute dog. Is it a dog or is it a coyote? Lapping the thing, looks like a fox or a coyote or something, making him run around on the trail over there. Bye-bye. But look, he showed up at his door, his glass panel door, and he has a real dog in there. And then he's like scruffing him, like petting him and letting him sleep in the house and stuff. But what about the fleas? Well, he's a man, a white man. And look, there's a little cat. He's brushing this coyote. The coyote loves him now, but it's not real love. It's just because he got taken care of, so he didn't forget. This is from Gabriel Corno. It should be Gabriel Corny. Kidding. A brave man frees a coyote. Coyotito. Coyote. Coyote. Not an illegal alien trafficker, okay? He's not helping illegal aliens come back. This is the animal. Nurses it back to health and then sets it free, and a story of a friendship begins. Aww. How come who was recording this whole time? I don't know, but I reposted it because I'm a sucker for this stuff. I don't know what this is, but I'm reposting it. I'm like a sucker, okay? It's on my X, the Hake Report on X. You can judge a man's true character by the way he treats his fellow animals. Paul McCartney. Oh, Lord, Paul McCartney. I don't know if Paul McCartney is a good or a bad person. That sounds like a Beatle guy. Isn't that nice? Is that because he's white? Is it because he's a man? Or is it because he's a mama? Somebody tell me. Somebody. Look at that wild eyes. Aww. So cute. Are coyotes dogs? Let me ask Grok, because I don't want to support Google. And I support Elon. Are these dogs? No, coyotes are not dogs in the everyday sense. They're not domesticated. I'm not asking if they're domesticated. Both coyotes and domestic dogs belong to the canines. Canidae, Latin. Did Adam name them that, or did the children of Satan name them Canis? Genus Canis. Domestic dog, Canis lupus familiaris. Subspecies of the gray wolf, Canis lupus. Coyotes are the Canis latrans, a distinct species. So they're not. So coyotes they're close cousins to wolves. So they're not even descended from the wolves. Coyotes, huh? They're also cousins to domestic dogs and jackals and other Canis species. Genetically, they're closely related. So nobody really traced back the lineage to these guys. They're, whatever. They can interbreed and produce fertile hybrids called coy dogs in rare cases, uncommon in the wild. Coyotes are a wild species evolved from North America. Dogs are the result of thousands of years of human-driven domestication from wolf ancestors. Behaviorally, physically, ecologically, very different. Coyotes are highly adaptable wild predators / scavengers. Dogs are domesticated companions or working animals. Nice. Short answers. They're canids, members of the dog family, closely related to dogs, but they're separate wild species, not dogs the way we normally use the word. So they are dogs. Can we call them dogs? I don't know. Think of them as, wow, they're cousins, not the same animal. All right. Coyote nursed back to health. I feel like I could picture, some of these Asian men or African men, maybe even like a woman who's, rough and able to go out in the wild and take care of herself doing this. I'll get back to your calls. I will. Here's another from C-Sal. I saw it come in. God made... such a boomer. God made man a caretaker of animals. Hearts emoji. White Latina strong arm emoji. And look at it. It's the same color as the picture of her, if that's the picture of her. Or is that a picture of Selena? I don't know. She is Tejanet, Texan. Did you know that Selena, the woman who's famous after she died? Talented songwriter gal, I think. She was not Mexican, she was not like a normal, like from a foreign country. She was singing in Spanish from Texas. Did you know? I didn't really know that. See, look, I can't do I can't set a goal. You click this thing and it doesn't do anything. No goals. I don't set goals. YouTube's orders. All right, we will, oh, yeah. I wanted to get to, like, what Cesar said. Gonna talk about Stevie Nicks, okay? Then I'll get to your calls. I see you, I appreciate you, and I will do this quickly. If it be the Lord's will, and if I follow the Lord's will. Those are two big ifs. Stevie Nicks, okay, so Stevie Nicks shouting her aborsh, okay? It's from Repro Rights. I sneak peeked it, all right? So
I got pregnant, and it was like, why? I have an IUD.
I did not.
I am totally
quiet.
protected.
Stop
I
it.
have a great gynecologist. How come this has happened?
So you took all the precautions.
What the
yes.
heck?
And I'm like, this can't be happening. Fleetwood Mac is 3 years in, and it's big. And we're going into our third album.
Look at how cute she used to be.
It was like, oh, no. It would have destroyed Fleetwood Mac.
If you had a baby.
Absolutely. Because many reasons. I would have tried my best to get through, being in the studio every single day, expecting a child, but mostly having a child with Don Henley would not have gone over big in Fleetwood Mac with Lindsay and me, who we'd been broken up for 2 or 3 years. It would have been a nightmare scenario for me to live through.
It takes some courage to step into the waters of the abortion debate.
Yes, it does.
Wrong kind of courage.
Why take the risk?
Because everybody kept saying, well, somebody has to do something. Somebody has to say something. And I'm like, well, I have a platform. I tell a good story. So maybe I should try to do something.
Terrible, huh? It must have been the Lord's will, or else the devil in this computer preventing me from pausing it. I was going to pause it because I was laughing. Did you hear me laughing and speaking over her? She's like, what the heck? I didn't know that she sounded like that. I've never heard her speaking voice. And I didn't know that that's what she looked like either. She's, a little older now. And actually, this is an old clip. I think this came out a while ago, even though repro rights, short for Center for Reproductive Rights, which is the opposite of what it actually is. Center for the Right to Kill the Baby and Stop from Reproducing. Give me a break. States, this is a much-watched. Stevie Nicks speaks openly about the abortion that allowed her to continue her career at the height of Fleetwood Mac's rise. She makes it plain access to aborsh. I shorten it to aborsh for short to make it sound nicer, even though it's not nice. And even the word abortion used to be a nicer word for killing and extracting the baby, whatever, the unborn baby from the womb, right? Anyway, made her life, her art, and her voice possible, which is totally stupid, okay? Because she's completely living in her imagination about what it would really be. She doesn't know what it really would have been. And I've heard of Don Henley. He sang Boys of Summer, right? Something. I didn't know she slept around. Did she really sleep around? That's not right. No. Probably this is all, maybe this was all fake. She's just doing this for propaganda purposes because, no, I'm kidding. She probably did do this abortion. But anyway, you don't know what people really did. You don't know what the real truth is. And neither does she. I know people who've done this, and it's not right, but it's their life, I don't think it's right. It's evil. It wasn't their life to kill. But, hey, the world is intent on allowing this and encouraging it. And interestingly, the fact that it exists puts pressure on them, and that it's available and that everybody else is doing it puts a pressure on these people to go through with it, or to have the S out of wedlock and all that stuff. Oh, good. Now it's working. I wasn't able to pause it. And normally, I would pause and interrupt, and you guys would be irritated because you're trying to take in the full clip without me interrupting and pausing it so much. So anyway, that's the Stevie Nicks. And when you scroll down, these are like responses. Chrissy Mayer, a beautiful gal who interviewed JLP. She is coping. Many comparable female positions in that era had children and were rock stars. Aretha Franklin had 4 kids. Joni Mitchell had 1. Where is she now? Pat Benatar. Really? Pat Benatar. Tina Turner had her first kid at 18. Feminism brainwashed boomer women so hard. And women today. Millennials, Gen Zs. Wonder if Debbie Harry and Joan Jett regret not having kids, she asks. Oh, don't say that. Don't read the chat, kids. What's up, Made by Jim Bob? I'll like it just because I like him. But I disagree. Fleetwood Mac is very cool music. But how do you feel listening to it now that it killed a baby? I am successful because of child sacrifice isn't the win that you think it is. Here's this. Sacrificing you will bring us a better harvest. Back in the day, sacrificing the baby to the false god. Aborting you will give me a better future. Yeah, so you can see those in the replies. Was it worth it, mommy? Imagining the baby up in heaven. Keyword imagining. And then there's little Fleetwood, Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks getting her little award thingamajigger. When I hear music, I now know it cost a child's life. That might be kind of dramatic. There was one reply that, yeah, I wanted to show this one. Heartbreaking. Okay, so I don't agree with this. I might agree with it a little bit, but I don't know if we should be so emotionalizing that like this. I absolutely love much of Fleetwood Mac's catalog, says this person. Dostoevsky's heart, a.k.a. a well in Zion. Not well in Zion. I love some of Stevie Nicks' solo work, but this is heartbreaking. I don't agree with that sentiment. You know, because that's encouraging people to get into their emotions over the killing of a baby. And look at what they're doing over, they're accusing Israel of genocide because they're seeing all these babies getting killed. Calm down, you know? So don't be getting all into your emotions over that. That's like kind of the devil, and then you'll feel justified hating the aborters, and it's not right. God loves everybody, and it's not like that emotional mama love. So accounts repro rights follows or mention can reply. So they turned off replies eventually. Terrible. Yeah, I learned about Fleetwood Mac from, not that I hadn't heard of them, okay, and not that I hadn't heard their music, but I really became more aware of them from a Christian musician, probably a liberal, you know, so-called Christian. But shout out, it was a guy that I kind of interned for his label. And he was nice. Anyway, we want to hear her voice again?
Because many reasons.
Wait. She's like, what the heck? Let me play it.
I got pregnant, and it was like, why? I have an IUD. I am totally protected. I have a great gynecologist.
What's funny is she had the IUD, which is a piece of plastic that you force up somewhere. I heard, I don't know, it has a string on it, and somehow it stops people from getting pregos. But it doesn't actually work, apparently. I have a great gynecologist. Wow, so they were that advanced even back in the 70s, I guess, when they were doing this thing? Or 80s? Why? She has such a nice, beautiful voice. I wonder what her singing voice sounds like now.
How come this has happened?
And I like her yellow teeth, by the way. Shout out, stop having white teeth, you sickos. Although yellow teeth is kind of gross. A little bit. It's like too much. And maybe it's not that yellow. I disclaim. So that's that. That was the thing that I wanted to present to you. One other quick thing, then your calls, is this climate hype. Climate hype. I was just about to fall for it, right? I was just about ready to fall for it because they've repeated it over and over and over, and that's kind of intimidating, and it kind of brainwashing. You start to think, oh, it must be true. Everybody's saying it. Must be true, huh? Well, not really. Okay? Let me show you. Not necessarily. At least not in the way that they're saying it. Okay, so Scott Adams posted, wait until you find out about this fake sea level predictions. And he's looked into this. I mean, he's not one just to make specious claims. Scott Adams. I used to say rest in peace, Scott Adams. I'm so tempted just to still say it, but he's still alive. Come on. And hopefully, you know, we wish him well and the best and all that, or whatever we're supposed to do. And he quote tweets Michael Schellenberger, who states, scientists for years said they had proof that climate change was accelerating sea level rise. But that's not what the evidence shows. They knew the truth and misled the public. And now I have a long email exchange with a top scientist that shows how they did it. Massive scandal. And that's not the first massive scandal with regard to shenanigans with the climate propaganda. Whether it's true or false, there's a whole lot of shenanigans. Claimed that human-caused climate change was blah, blah. Top scientists deliberately misrepresented sea level rise for years. IPCC, the International Panel on Climate Change, something or other, claim of high confidence and acceleration of sea level rise or whatever, is disinformation purposefully created by top university professors to mislead. Okay, so that's that one. And now take it with a grain of salt, because what they're saying may not be true. I don't know. But that just proves that you really can't trust the stuff that seems true. Somebody says, don't read this, kids, but it's Nacho Business says, weird how all the rich climate boop, boop, holes still have beachfront properties. Do you guys mind if I retweet it? Let me just put ha 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 so you guys can find it in my replies if you go to my replies. Ha ha. Okay, there we go. And another guy whom I also think doesn't, and these are like not Christians. They're not like they're Christian boomers who just dismiss everything. And I like Christian boomers who dismiss everything. But these are like, I don't think that Scott Adams is particularly Christian. I don't think Michael Schellenberger is particularly like one of these Christians like JLP who says, God's got it. But Stefan Molyneux made up models that are tweaked to get billions of dollars in government funding is not science. And he's a science guy. A science man, I should say, because Bill Nye is a science guy, and he's gross. But, yeah, Stefan, let's see what this guy has to say.
Climate change is...
This is not Stefan, this is somebody else. Climate change is...
unarguable.
Inarguable.
The science is undeniable.
Deniable.
Temperatures are rising. And the clock is ticking.
Look how manly he looks, and he's talking like this. Propaganda.
To tell our citizens the truth about this, we are failing them. And this planet...
He looks almost as manly as Putin, but I'm not falling for it. How about you, Terry?
The most profound way. Science cannot be denied.
Yes,
the
it
European
can.
Union, of which Ireland is a part, remains steadfast in its determination.
Evil Ireland, they're behind all this censorship going on, part of it. Okay, so that's that. That's enough of that. And then one little quick more post on X. Did I reposted that one, right? Yeah, I reposted Stefan. And then one more from Scott Adams from a little bit ago. Democrats ruined a generation of kids with delusional meaning children, okay, not baby goats, with delusional thinking and hoaxes. And he quote tweets Chief Nerd. The Chief Nerd posts, Kamala Harris says Gen Z's afraid to have kids because of climate anxiety. Yeah, exactly. What's funny is they are so brainwashed that they don't realize that they are the ones who are bringing about that anxiety, the propagandists. And they think that it's Republicans are to blame for climate anxiety, or, you know, boomers who don't fall for it, or Gen Xers who don't fall for it. Listen to evil Kamala.
They're
sorry, that's loud. To me.
Experiencing what they've coined. They're experiencing what they've coined climate anxiety, which is their...
Don't you like her voice? Climate anxiety? I love her voice, and I can't even do it.
Fear that because of changing in extreme weather, that the future of their lives is very much at stake. My goddaughter, who's a junior in college right now, was crying to me just 2 days ago, worried about what is the world going to be for me, Auntie, she said.
Auntie.
When I want to have kids, should I even be thinking about having children? That's on top of unaffordable, not for her, but for so many in that generation. They don't aspire to own a home. They don't believe it's within their reach.
Hey.
They're
and you're part of the problem with the unaffordability of homes, woman. But reminds me of that other gal from California who's trying to run for governess of California. That woman who said her 12-year-old is all scared about climate change. And, oh, no, she's scared about aborsh. She's scared that she won't be able to get an abortion. But I don't know if that was even true. So, nice. Yeah, ruining a whole generation of kids of delusional thinking and hoaxes. And he calls it a hoax. And it's interesting that he's not one to call something a hoax flippantly. All right? Speaking of hoaxes, I heard that from another guy on X, big guy on X, I quote him all the time and reference him all the time. I heard that, pardon them, this is the guy who said it. I heard, I'll repost him. Cernovich said that, there's my again, said that shampoo is a hoax. Yeah. Shampoo is a hoax. So there you have it. There, now I've done what I teased and said that I was going to do. And I'm a little bit tired of hearing myself talk, so I will get to you, Popcorn, sir. No, let me get to you now. Popcorn states, the fact that you admitted that you had Biden or Obama propose the exact same policy on bringing talent in from foreign countries that you wouldn't be on board is quite telling. He says. So all your defenses, for lack of a better term, for what the Great White Hope is doing makes sense, wouldn't be valid for Obama or Biden. We have them coming in anyway, so just cutting off completely isn't the right thing to do, is what I said. That position is only valid when it's the Great White Hope. I'm not sure how much of this, if the Great White Hope said it, it must be right. Is you playing it up for the show, or if that's really what you believe? It really is what I believe. I know that it sounds ridiculous, right? But look at what he did with the refugees. I bet you it'll be similar with the H-1Bs. Because one of the things he's doing with the H-1Bs and student visas and things is making it fairer to America, so we're making more money off of them, and it's lightening up the flow, making it more reasonable. Whereas Obama and Biden flooded us with refugees and illegals and stuff like that. They both did. I get that Obama supposedly deported a bunch, but he flooded us with illegals purposely. So just look at the differences in Trump's actions. Even the supposed policies, it's not actually the exact same policies that they're given. So anyway, it is as if anything the Great White Hope says, you start from the premise that he's right, and if you disagree, there must be an adjustment that you need to make to understand why he's right. Yeah, I mean, he may be wrong, though. I left room for he may be wrong, man. That's amazing to me. It's special pleading, he says. I don't know what you mean. The Great White Hope also said verbatim, African Americans built this country, built this nation. Yeah, he did say that. I know. But he also said, we all built it, and they helped. Because he's just repeating he's repeating what they told him to say or whatever. And then he corrected this situation that they helped. We all built it. How long will it take you to realize he's right on that? Smiley with a hyphen nose emoji. Colon, hyphen, close parentheses emoji. No, I know. They helped build the White House. I heard about that from you guys. They were they were like contributors. Popcorn, you're funny, man. Nice. Fun. Sweet. Okay, so I don't have a lot of time. Okay, so if I mosey on over here, let me do this. Alan, I'm gonna go to all of you guys, supposedly. We'll see. Alan in Michigan. What's up, man?
Oh boy. That conversation you had with Hyman really was good.
Oh, cool.
And I particularly like your description of commie capitalism.
Oh, nice. Thanks, man.
And I'm not trying to smooze you, but
no, I know that.
It's actually the same thing as fascism or crony capitalism. It's different names.
Right.
But when the Soviet Union collapsed in the early 90s, wags in Russia would refer to capitalism. They say capitalism and communism are but two buttocks on the same derriere.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
They're not opposites.
No, they complement each other. It's part of the dialectic. Get one side fighting against the other,
Yeah.
and then you control the fight. And it's like
Yeah,
controlling both sides of a chessboard.
I learned that dialectic word from listening to Bill Lockwood one time on his show. He talked about how capitalism is what I understood it to be a stepping stone toward communism.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But to go on, I'm going to use an anecdote. Put up your anecdote flags. It's a personal story.
Yeah, nice.
That I know. And so I did do a little research on it. But many years ago, 30 years ago plus, I was visiting a friend in Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and met a gentleman whose relative had a farm at the beginning of the Depression. Now, in those days, they had something what are called pole barns. They still call them pole barns today. But those pole barns were actually made with utility poles, or telephone poles, as some people call them.
Yeah.
And they would take them and they would put a piece of limestone, and then they would set and build a frame of all these utility poles. Then they would sheathe it. Well, what happened was it built this barn and all, and the Depression came along. And the bank foreclosed on the property. And the farmer says, okay, fair enough. I can't, I have no money. I can't pay. But that pole barn is mine. And he had a bunch of his friends come over, and they actually physically removed the pole barn from the property. The bank sued him, claiming that that pole barn was their property. Guess what? The bank lost.
Nice.
But that very next year, and I checked this, I haven't gone completely into it, but I checked the law in Wisconsin. And there's a law. They made a law the very next year, the politicians, that all buildings must be attached to the property. In other words, it becomes part of the property. Now, I guess, I wonder who made enough bribes to the politicians to get them to do that.
I got a little distracted. In short, what just happened?
Well, the barn, he took away the barn. He was sued by the bank. Okay, the bank lost. But the very next year, the legislature in Wisconsin passed a law that all buildings must be attached to the ground. In other words, it becomes part of the property and therefore foreclosable. Okay? Yeah. Now, in other words, they want the equity that has been built up. They want to steal the equity. It's not just the property; it's the equity and all the improvements on it. But I'll give you another example, one more, and that's it.
Okay.
Many years ago, when I was a young child, we were driving along a street in Chicago, and I looked out the window and I saw this rather strange sight. It was a lot with a flat something or other, a building, but it was like a basement covered with tarp. And I asked my dad, I said, well, what is that? He said, what the people had done, they had bought the lot, but they didn't have enough to build a house. So what they did was they had the foundation put in first. They're living in the basement until they save up enough money to build the house. And that was very common back then. But guess what happened? Now there is a law that if you build a house, and it depends on the area you're in, of course, it's a zoning law, it's got to be completed and put up within a year or 2 years or whatever. It's usually a year. They will not allow you to live in a basement and save up the money. They want you to go in debt to the bankers.
Wow, what a mess.
This is how the system works.
Totally.
Right. And as long as we have a system that allows usury on wealth, we're going to have that. But it's going to, of course, end. Okay, that's all I wanted to add. But good call, and I've enjoyed the other calls too. Very good. Wonderful day.
I appreciate it, Alan. Thank you, sir, as always.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I missed a couple of super chats here, and I almost forgot. It's chess day, guys. Head on over to the DLive.tv/The Hake Report and claim the chest now. Do it now. and Pork Chop over on Rumble, rumble.com/The Hake Report /live. Our dean told you evil corporations buy up homes to make it unaffordable. Yet, her daughter sold hers for $400,000 to corporations. Typical limousine liberal who took her same political vote to Colorado from California. Wow. Hey. Yeah. When it comes down to it, you're going to get that bag. What a mess. So, nice. Thank you, popcorn. Sorry, pork chop. Bethany says, can't stand Fleetwood Mac. She's an evil, nasty woman, that Stevie Nicks gal. David says, come on, Hake. They took our jobs. Took her job. Gerbs. Emoji. Huff. Harumph emoji. If you spell out harumph and then make a command option space on a Mac, then it'll come up with a harumph emoji. Nice. All right, so let me just refresh the coffees. Okay, I'm up to date on that. I have just a few minutes here, so I gotta get to, James in Kentucky, go.
Hey, I don't know what you sighed before you answered.
Sorry, go ahead.
I get it. I'd be doing the same thing. Hey, I just wanted to, a couple things real quick, get off my chest. One, all old people need food. They can't eat, remember?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give you the heads up. Did you hear about that illegal driver, Harjinder Singh, the one that killed those 3 people and that turnaround in Florida that illegally turned?
Yeah. Yeah.
His court was yesterday, apparently, and you got, I don't know what's going to happen to us, James. I really don't. His defense is trying to give, because he got here illegally, he's been here illegally, and now they're giving him American protected rights, including free process. Wow.
What a mess, huh?
It is a mess. I think it's like he came from California. Remember when you said they pulled 17,000 CDLs and they just keep coming?
Yep.
Your state's getting us, man.
Yeah. California is killing America.
It is. It's killing
terrible.
America on the roads, one accident at a time, let me tell you.
Yeah.
The dude can't speak English, so his defense had to be an interpreter, too.
Wow.
So the guy that can't even speak English was able to be given a CDL, and those 3 people in Florida were killed.
Yeah.
And here's the funny part. After that accident happened, he tried to flee.
What?
Back to India. Yes. He tried to flee back to India, but he got stopped.
Nice. Good. That's crazy, man.
So now they're trying to make this a race issue with his defense.
Of course.
The fact that he's illegal, he killed people, and he tried to run. So let's make it a race issue.
I know, because they have that excuse, because when these foreigners or certain races or ethnicities do these things, it attracts the ire of people who are sick of all these races being forced on us. And so some of us may not speak very kindly about these people. And so they claim victimhood, and it's a big mess. It reminds me of the Muslims after 9/11. Some people did something, and now we all have to suffer. I appreciate it, James in Kentucky, man. It's good to hear from you, sir.
Good to hear from you, too. Have a great weekend, Hake.
All right, you as well. Bye. And I wanted to get to David in Ocala, Florida. I only have like 30 seconds, but I had to get to David. Go ahead, sir.
All right, Hake, I'm going to shotgun this to you, okay? Stevie Nicks, she didn't get an abortion because she was a big cokehead, okay? She wasn't going to give up that cocaine.
Whoa.
So she can say what she wants, but she was pounding it up her nose, man.
I disclaim, of course, but interesting.
Yeah. Now we know also that she slept with Lindsey Buckingham, Mick Fleetwood, and now Don Henley. So she's done put that out and some other cat. But
no shame.
No shame. But here's the thing, man. I got a niece that's 21 years old.
I got to wrap up, man. Go ahead.
No, I know. I can't even imagine if her mother would have aborted her and I didn't know this know my niece. You got what I'm saying? She's a very special young lady.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what these people aren't thinking about. And last but least, when I bought my house in '96, we were $5.2 trillion in debt. My house cost me $600 a month. That same house costs $3,000 a month now, and we're $37 trillion in debt. That's where it came from. Overspending. Okay.
Yeah.
They spin us into you're done. A 50-year mortgage, and now they got 96-month car loan.
I gotta go, man. Great
All right,
call,
I'll call
David.
you
I'm
back
glad you
next week.
were able to get in, though.
Yeah, me too, man. I'll call you back next week and talk about it.
Sounds good. And Rick and the rest of the callers, peace in the Middle East. Or at least in your hearts. The Fallen State countdown has already happened because I'm over a minute late. Take care, guys. Bye. Crank this on.